Noorsign Books presents Ramadan Miracles, Stories of Faith Found in the Ordinary. The Boy Who Counted Mosques, Part 2, The Men Who Feed Me. Dakar, Senegal. Moussa is 12 years old, cycling across a city of 100 mosques, searching for a father who left to find God. But on day 7, with his chain broken and his stomach empty, a stranger's hand on his plate teaches him something Baba never could. That sometimes the men who feed you are the ones who show you where God really is. The chain came off again on day 7. Moussa knelt on the roadside in Wakam, threading it back onto the gear with fingers dark from grease. He had done this so many times the motion was automatic. Hook, loop, pedal backward. But the link felt looser, the metal thinner. His hands were shaking, not from effort, from hunger. He had not eaten since sahur, 12 hours of fasting in the Senegalese sun, cycling across a city built on hills and sand. His vision swam at the edges. His tongue felt thick. But the mosque was close. He could hear its adhan, clear and sweet, a muezzin who knew exactly where God was. He stood. He mounted. He rode. The mosque in Wakam was small, clean, with a green dome and a swept courtyard. The iftar was generous. Dates, millet porridge, grilled fish, and bouillet, the thick baobab drink that tasted like summer and sugar. Moussa ate with the men, head bowed, saying Alhamdulillah between bites. An old man beside him pressed a second helping of fish onto his plate. "You're too thin. Who feeds you?" "My mother." "Then she feeds you too little. Eat." Moussa ate. Mosque number 7, Wakam. Green dome, 1 minaret. An old man told me I'm too thin. Baba was not here. He cycled home. His mother was at the sewing machine, hemming a dress by lamplight. She scanned his face, quick, practiced, and looked back at the needle. "There's couscous in the pot." "I ate at the mosque." "Eat more." He ate more. He always ate more, because she always told him to. Mosque food was a gift from strangers. Home food was a fact, and there was a difference.
The nights became a blurred rhythm of grease-stained fingers and sore calves. Moussa's notebook filled with entries, page after page, each one a small, careful record. Mosque number 12, Mermoz, blue tile floor. Imam is Senegalese, speaks Wolof during khutbah, not Baba. Mosque 19, Parcelles Assanese, new construction, still has scaffolding. A boy my age gave me his seat, not Baba. Mosque 31, Kolaban, very crowded. I had to pray in the street, not Baba. Mosque 44, Point E, a woman with kind eyes runs the kitchen. She feeds 100 people every night and knows the name of every orphan in the district, not Baba. He added each one to his wall map. The wall became a constellation, tiny circles in pencil, connected by lines that traced his bicycle routes through the city. The map was beautiful, but it was also a map of absences. Every circle was a mosque where his father was not. On day 11, cycling past the Gull Tapé bus station, his front wheel hit a pothole and his water bottle bounced from the basket. He stopped, went back. The bottle had rolled to the doorstep of a corner boutique, narrow, stacked floor to ceiling with rice, condensed milk, phone cards, and rows of glass jars filled with spices that glowed amber in the fading light. A man stood behind the counter, broad-shouldered, dark-skinned, shaved head, hands like shovels. He was weighing dates on a brass scale, his lips moving silently, counting or praying or both. "Uncle, I need 1 kilo of dates," Moussa said. The man scooped dates into a bag, weighed it, set it on the counter. 500 francs. Moussa paid. He was turning to leave when the man spoke, still without looking up. "You're fasting." "Yes, uncle." "You're skinny." He added another handful of dates to the bag. In Mali, where I come from, we fatten the child before Ramadan, not during. Too late for you. Eat. He wrapped the bag and handed it over. Moussa took it, confused. But I already paid for 1 kilo. The extra is not for sale. Go. Moussa went. He tucked the extra dates carefully into his basket, a gift to be opened at iftar, sweetness saved for sunset. He cycled away and thought, that man did not ask my name. He did not smile. He just gave me food.
He came back 3 days later. The man, Mustafa, though Moussa had only learned his name from a neighbor, was in the same position, behind the counter, weighing, not looking. Moussa bought 1 kilo. Mustafa gave him 1.5. You again. Not a question. Me again. Still skinny. The pattern continued. Every few days, Moussa would stop at the boutique, buy dates or bread, and receive extra. Always extra. But extra meant more for iftar, not a midday snack. Mustafa understood the rules of Ramadan without being told. Never a word about it. Never a smile. Once, Moussa left his notebook on the counter by accident. He came back 10 minutes later to find it in the exact same spot, unmoved, undisturbed. Mustafa had not opened it. Moussa was grateful in a way he could not name. The man saw the notebook. The man did not ask. The man simply fed him. Masjid number 58, near Uncle Mustafa's shop. No name. Very small. Orange carpet. Imam has 1 arm. They serve bui for iftar. Uncle Mustafa is not an imam. He is a shopkeeper. But he feeds me like a prayer. By the end of the 2nd week, Moussa had visited 63 masajid. His legs were harder. His notebook was half full. His wall map was dense with circles. On day 15th, he came home to find his mother sitting at the kitchen table, not sewing, not cooking, just sitting. Her hands flat on the surface, her eyes on the door. Mama? You eat at strangers' masajid, she said. Not an accusation, a fact. Sometimes, the iftar, they give food. It's communal. I make food too, Moussa. He sat down across from her. The table between them was small, scarred with knife marks from years of cutting fabric. I'm sorry, Mama. She reached across and placed her hand on his. I'm not angry, She stopped, took a breath. Tell me something, anything. One of the masajid. Tell me about it. He blinked. She had never asked before. So he told her. The green dome of Wakam. The old man who said he was too thin. Imam Ibrahima and the wudu lesson. A masjid in Ogor where the imam was barely older than a teenager, and his voice cracked on every long vowel, and the old man in the front row winced but never said a word. Aminata listened. She did not interrupt. When he finished, she said, You love this city. I'm looking for Baba. She squeezed her hand. Then she let go and stood and went to the stove. The conversation was over. But something had changed. She had asked. He had answered. A door had opened, just a crack, and the light coming through it was warm.
Day 19. Moussa cycled north, past the neighborhoods he knew, toward the coast. The road narrowed. Sand crept in at the edges. The air smelled of salt and fish and something older, the Atlantic itself, vast and indifferent. He found a mosque by accident, a tiny building near the beach in Yoff, a traditional Lebu fishing community where pirogues lay on the sand like sleeping animals. The mosque had a rusted tin roof and no minaret. A hand-lettered sign above the door read Dahira, a Sufi circle. Al-Maghrib was 20 minutes away. He parked his bicycle and walked toward the beach. That was where he found the fisherman. Papa Omar was old in the way that the sea is old, not just aged, but weathered. His skin the color and texture of driftwood, his eyes gray-green like shallow water. He sat on an overturned pirogue, mending a net with hands that moved with the mechanical grace of decades. Beside him, a small fire burned, and on the fire, a fish was grilling, its skin crackling. Moussa stood at a distance, watching. The old man did not look up. "You can come closer, boy. The sea won't bite." Moussa sat on the sand a few feet from the fire. The smell of the grilling fish was torture, 14 hours of fasting, and his stomach clenched like a fist. "Are you waiting for the mosque?" Papa Omar asked. "Yes, uncle." "You've been to many mosques then?" Moussa hesitated. Then, because the fisherman's voice was the kind that made lying seem pointless, he said, 132. This will be 133. Papa Omar finally looked at him, sharp, appraising, the eyes of a man who reads weather and currents and the silences between words. 133 mosques, and you're 12 years old? He whistled through his teeth. What does a boy want with so many mosques? The question again. The same question Imam Ibrahima had asked, the same question his mother's silence asked every night. But here, on this sand, with the ocean loud and the fish almost ready, Moussa could not deflect. "My father left when I was 4, he said. The words came out flat, practiced, the way a wound sounds when you have described it so many times it has lost its edges. He went to find God. I think he's in a masjid somewhere." Papa Omar set down his net. He pulled the fish from the grill and cut it in half with a knife that appeared from inside his boo-boo. He placed one half on newspaper and pushed it toward Moussa. "Eat." "But I haven't prayed yet." "We'll pray first. The fish will wait." They prayed in the tiny masjid, a dozen men, Papa Omar's recitation slow and deliberate beside him. Then they walked back to the fire and ate together on the sand. "Does your father know you're looking for him?" Papa Omar asked. "No, I don't know where he is." "Ah." The old man chewed, swallowed. "You think he's in a masjid. He went to find God. Masjids are where God is. Is that what your mother told you?" "Yes. Your mother is a kind woman. She gave you a story so the truth wouldn't cut so deep." Papa Omar turned to face him. The ocean roared behind him, gray-green and endless. "But you are 12 now, boy, and you have cycled across this city counting masjids. I think you are old enough for the sea's version of truth." He tapped his own chest. "The sea takes fathers, Moussa. This coast, Yoff, Nar, Wakam, we lose men every season. The boats go out. Some come back, some don't. The wives tell the children, Papa is working. Papa went to sea. And the children believe it, because children believe what they need to believe to survive." He paused. "But the ones who don't come back, we build shrines for them. Not masjids, shrines in our hearts. Your mother built you a shrine, boy. She told you Baba went to find God because Baba left because he was broken, would have killed something in a 4-year-old. Moussa's throat closed. His eyes burned. "And now you're riding from masjid to masjid, looking for a man who might not want to be found. Every masjid you enter, you scan the faces. And when he's not there, you feel it here." Papa Omar touched Moussa's chest, gently, with one calloused hanger. "Like a hook pulling. Am I right?" Moussa could not speak. He nodded. "Only Allah fills that hole, little man. Only Allah." Moussa was crying. He did not know when it had started. The tears were simply there, hot and fast, running into the salt on his lips. He had not cried since he was small. He had trained himself not to. Tears were a luxury, a waste of water. and Moussa did not waste. But the fisherman's words had found a crack he did not know he had. Papa Omar did not comfort him. He sat beside the boy on the sand and watched the ocean, and the ocean watched them back. They sat as the last light drained from the sky, and Papa Omar said nothing more. He did not need to. The hook was in Moussa's chest, and it was pulling. He cycled home in the dark. He did not eat. He did not write in his notebook. He lay on his mattress and stared at the wall map, its hundreds of tiny circles, and thought, what if none of them have Baba? What if the map is not a rescue plan? What if it's just a lullaby I've been singing to myself? The tears came again, silently, in the dark. He pulled the notebook from under his pillow and held it against his chest. Somewhere outside, a Sufi dhikr circle was swaying, their voices rising like smoke. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. There is no God but God. Moussa closed his eyes. He did not stop riding the next day. He could not stop. But the mission had changed, though he did not yet know into what. The mosques were no longer addresses on a map. They were becoming something else. Rooms full of men who had fed him, taught him, touched his chest, and said, only God fills that hole. He slept without setting his alarm. In the morning, his mother found him with the notebook on his chest and sand in his hair. She said nothing, because the nothing she said was its own kind of prayer. I see you. I am here. You do not have to carry this alone. But he did not hear her. He was already dreaming of mosques.
You've been listening to Ramadan Miracles, a Noorsign Books original. And so Moussa rides on, not toward a father he may never find, but toward a truth the fisherman on the beach pressed into his chest like a seal, that the search itself has already become the prayer. Every mosque he enters, every hand that feeds him, every old man who sees his hunger and fills it, they are not signposts to Baba. They are the answer he has been looking for all along. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next miracle. Visit noorsignbooks.com to join our community and get the full collection. Jazakumullah khairan.